At Molson Coors Beverage Company, we strive to be a leader in the beverage industry. We're always looking to the horizon and planning for what's next. We can't be complacent or settled in our ways. And we see that same passion and vision emulated in 9 News Leader of the Year finalist, Luis Benitez. Luis, we raise a glass to you. You're the kind of next generation leader who's always ready and willing to tackle the next challenge. Your leadership has already had a huge impact here in Colorado and across the world. Congratulations and cheers.
I've been lucky enough to grow up inside the outdoor recreation industry. I come from an American mother and an Ecuadorian father, and the Ecuadorian side of my family, while they were engineers and lawyers by trade, they were mountaineers by passion. My goal in the beginning of my professional journey was just to be a mountaineer. That was it.
I think that the mountaineering side makes him a very experiential leader, and very much because of the guiding and the trust and the way that team members have to rely on each other. I think he's really good at opening up and being vulnerable with his team and people he's leading, but also in creating that safety with other people.
You know, if I could pick one word to describe leadership, it would be humility. I would not be remotely close to where I am today, personally or professionally, without the help and support of the people that have been around me my entire career and my entire life.
I think he leads by example, and he's really selfless as a leader. And I think back to him being with Eric on Everest.
Luis was responsible for talking me through that whole thing. Like a blind person's worst nightmare. I wouldn't have made the summit without him.
You know, if you asked me to point to one moment in my personal and professional timeline that really shifted my idea of not only what I was doing, but what I should be doing, it would be the incident in Tibet.
He was on a climbing expedition, and they saw some Tibetan refugees being chased and killed by Chinese soldiers.
Personally, for me, I realized that if I didn't say something about it, that this industry that I loved and that I had grew up in up to that point, that the moral compass, in my estimation at that moment, was just broken. And from that point forward, I knew that I couldn't just be a mountain guide anymore, which led me pretty much to pivoting my entire career and my entire focus towards more service-oriented and public service-oriented positions. I got a call from Leadership Denver, and that engagement over that year completely changed my life and my idea of what public service can and should be. Learning you could really focus on a life of service as well as being passionate about the things that keep you outside and allow you to be outside, there was a blend there. So no matter if I was guiding internationally, helping start nonprofits like Trekking for Kids or Soldiers to Summits, you know, for me the focus was coming together to serve the common good through engagement with the outdoors. Spending time outside is good for you, personally and professionally. There are ways to engage different communities in that journey. The premise for Trekking for Kids was really trying to understand when it came to the global orphan population to help those kids understand what's possible. Not only doing fundraising to be able to go on the adventure, but doing fundraising for orphanages and projects and programs for those orphans to engage in spending time outside has been a very, very special project for me.
Some people are afraid by challenge, but some people are motivated by challenge. And I think that's Luis.
I just think that the leadership that he brings and his openness and vulnerability and willingness to talk about not always feeling strong is pretty meaningful. So I think he's a great leader.
Leaders can come from anywhere. And the greatest examples are often ones that it's not the monumental things that you think about. It's the small day-to-day interactions and engagements that deliver on that promise that people can come from anywhere.
Climbing Everest 6 times, that's very cool. But I think the real trick is to come down the mountain, take the gifts that you've earned through your struggle and use them to elevate the world in some way. And that's Luis. That's what he's done.